Hey, what's up, family? Welcome back to another episode of the Listen Man podcast. You know, it's the show for the fans, by the fans. Appreciate you taking some time out of your day to come and spend it with me. Today is a special episode. I got my brother with me. He's family. He's one of the illest basketball players I've ever played against, with, or known. Some of you guys know him as the helicopter. Others will know him as John Humphreys. We're going to have a nice time. We're just going to chop it up just like we normally would do at the gym or at his house or my house, in the car, whatever. But we're going to give you guys some insights into maybe one of your favorite and one players ever. And you'll get to learn some things about my brother that maybe you didn't know. If you did, it still just be fun just to talk about hoops and life and sports as it's supposed to be. So as always, make sure you subscribe, make sure you hit the thumbs up. And as I always say, man, share with your friends, your family, your loved ones, people you don't like. If they like sports, send them my way. We'll take care of them over here. So this is the Listen Man podcast. As I always say, let's go. All right, so as I said, family, welcome back to another episode. This one is special to me because I wasn't sure on this show if I was even going to do interviews. But as I thought about it, I was like, man, you know, knowing a lot of people that play sports and did some amazing things, it would be great to share. So today marks the first episode of what I'm going to call Local Legends. And this is where we're going to highlight people that we all know in our neighborhoods and our communities that have done great things, but sometimes other people don't know about it. And so we're going to highlight those things today. So let me introduce the proper way. I'm going to get my Steve Harvey, my Club Shay Shay on real quick and just run down and just run down the line. We're going to talk about my boy. Spending 13 years playing professional basketball in the BJ League in Japan. And in those 13 years, he still is the all-time leading scorer over there. He still is the all-time leader in steals over there. He's a four-time scoring champion. His highest average was almost 28 points a game. Some of you may know him as one of the illest dunkers ever in basketball. Some of you may know him as John, but we'd like to welcome John, aka the helicopter, Humphrey. What's going on, my brother?
What's up, man?
Ain't nothing to it, man. You know how we do, fam.
Man, I
Uh,
appreciate the call, man.
listen, look, I said if I ever was going to have a guest up here, I only had a couple of people on the list, but I said there's one that got to be first. I said it's got to be my brother. I said, if it ain't gonna be nobody else, it's gonna be him. And I said, and if he say no, then we ain't doing no guest until he say yes. So I'm glad that you answered the call and we here, man. And just to tell the fans out there, I called him on Monday, it's Wednesday, and here we go. So that's the love that your boy got for your man Kevin. So the Listen Man podcast, I'm Kevin, I'm your host. Kevy Kev, Big Kev, or as I always say, anything cool that starts with a K, you can call me. What an episode, man. So, so this is gonna be like chopping it up like old times, ain't it, huh?
Oh yeah, man. Do this all the time.
It's craziness. It's craziness. The cool thing about this is, like, I just wanted this show just to be just sports and life because we talk all the time about like how sports and life kind of mirror each other. Like as fans, sports engulf our life. As a professional player, sports still had an impact on your life. So it's just positive, man. We just want to talk. And for me, I'm gonna say this, and then I'm gonna let you just kind of share some things. We'll chop it up a little bit. Me and you go back over 20. We go back over 23 years. Me and you.
Mm-hmm.
We go back over
Wow.
23 years. Yeah, that's what I said. We getting old, bro, but we still look good. We doing all right. But over
Yeah.
23 years, over 23 years, we go back. And man, they always use the phrase give people their flowers. I just say I'm a little bit older school than now. I'm gonna say we give people their props. And so for me, as you see, I got my Commit to Achieve sweatshirt on. My brother hooked
Look
me
good
up.
too.
Yeah, it looked good at black and yellow. Even though he don't like the
Yeah.
Steelers colors, he did his brother solid, with the Commit to Achieve. And we'll get into that in a little bit. But I just want to say, man, you're more than a friend, you're family. You're a brother to me. And I always get in trouble sometimes because I be bigging you up. Because I tell people all the time, like, they don't understand just how good you are. They see the and one, they see those things, but they don't understand that how good of a basketball player you are, were. And I think reading those stats should highlight it. Like one of the toughest leagues around the world. And you still, right now, are the all-time leading scorer. And what was the last year that you played over there?
Man, it's been 5 years now, I think.
You see what I mean? So in 5 years, ain't nobody even broke your all-time leading score or steals.
There is a caveat to that now. The league now they merged with another league, so the BJ League it'll never be broken because the BJ League is no more. So that's even better
Okay.
for me.
So it's a minute now. It's a
Yeah,
minute. So
yeah,
we could, hey, stamp
yeah.
of approval right there. Boom. Never be broken. It'll never be broken. But that's crazy though, man. That's crazy. So, but man, I remember Hump. I remember you pulling up to the gym in the black Civic, two door.
Yeah.
That's how far back we go. You know what I mean? And just hooping. Um, but definitely one of the illest that I ever played against. You gave
And
me
look,
nightmare.
crazy story about the black Civic. The Civic, it really was purple, man. Before the NIL deals in college, man, we had a booster in college, man. I can say it now because legal. He got in trouble for giving somebody some money, so he said he couldn't do that for me. But I had that Civic, eggplant. I one we could find automatic no, roll down windows. You got to put the key to lock it. He asked me if can I deal without my car for a week. I'm like, oh, you talking about? Nah, man. And he was like, nah, you cool. Then because some of the guys that been in the school, they're like, nah, you good. I'm like, all right, bro. I dropped my car off. I got it back. My car was black. I had mirror tint. I had electric windows. I had an alarm on it. I had some rims. They were 13, but I kept them clean. Hey, he hooked me up back. So that's how I got black.
I said we known each other 23 years, man. I said this is my first time hearing it. So this breaking news right here. This is a breaking story. But hey, but tell me something, man. I just always wondered what made you fall in love with basketball?
Man, be honest with you, back in the day, I'm 43 years old, and it ain't like it is now. And you can contest to this. When you was young, your parents would get outside. You came in to eat lunch. You went back outside, and you came back in for dinner.
Mm-hmm.
And as kids, we made up all type of games and stuff. But if you really think about it, basketball was the only thing that you can do by yourself. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
we play football, we play baseball, we don't. Man, we ran, we played jump the ditch, we were jumping the ditches, but basketball is the only thing. So the times I got in trouble, or you get in you'll get in trouble is can nobody come over,
Right.
or your friends got in trouble, so they can't come over. So, but you still got to get outside.
Yeah.
So man, I just started playing basketball. Then I just started playing 1-on-1. Hey, it was before above the rim. He wasn't the first one to do that. I was playing 1-on-1 against somebody. It was just me and an imaginary person, man. And
Yeah.
really, in the games, I had to shoot jump shots, and if the ball hit the ground, the other team person scored. So
Yeah.
I just did that over and over and over, and I just started loving the game.
Man, that's real similar. Like for me, I was a football player till I moved down here and I saw all the yards were so big. I was like, I remember telling my dad, yo, there's gonna be crazy football games here. There's gotta be. And then everybody played basketball. So I had to switch gears. And eventually my dad saved up enough money to get a goal put in the driveway. And I wasn't really in love with it at first. But the more I started playing it, like you said, they would be like, summertime, you go outside. I'll call you when it's dinner time, or I'll call you when it's lunchtime. And so you had to figure something out, man. And same thing, just started playing. I know you did like I did. Everybody did the 5, 4,
Oh
3,
yeah.
2, right? Try to hit the jumper at the buzzer or whatever it was. So that's incredible. Now I understand that basketball may not have even been the best sport that you potentially could
Uh,
have been. I'll be hearing stuff now. Is that true?
I mean, you listen to everybody, including LeVar Fisher, who played in the NFL. We talk about all the time that I was an okay football player. I could
You
just
like
jump, man. Anything that came my way, I was catching. I was fast. So
okay.
I enjoy football to a extent. To me, it stunk. People stink when they play football, and I was one of them. I ain't like it. But the
Hmm.
game for me was easy because all I did when I ran, I caught passes, I scored. I ain't do
Yeah,
no blocking. I ain't do
yeah,
none of the other stuff. So it wasn't bad. And I could jump high, so you could just throw it. My Scott or anybody just throw it high. I just go get it.
yeah, yeah. No, I could see that too. Like I said, I think you would have been great in either one. Longevity wise, yeah, basketball was the best choice. You know what I mean? I think about it now
Here's
because
something
most
else
of
you didn't know, and then a lot of people don't know.
was that.
My 5th year after I left middle, the football coach tried to get me to come back. Cause people don't know you got 5 years to play four. He tried to
Right.
get me to come back and play football.
At college.
Yeah.
And yeah.
I ain't played since my freshman year in high school. I used to go out there with the boys and catch the balls and just mess around. But I'm like, no, sir.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Listen, I started seeing some of my family, pretty much everybody in my family plays football. You know what I mean? And man, when I started getting a little older and seeing some of them hits and stuff I'm like, yeah, I made the right choice. Yeah, hooping is for me. Even though my style was a little physical, I still had a little football in me. I still like the contact in basketball, but that's good stuff. So that's another something that I wanted to just verify was true, and I believe it. You probably would have been an outstanding wide receiver. I could definitely, you would have been mossing a lot of people. There would have been a whole bunch of you got moss moments, I'm sure. I'm sure. So I'm sure, like me, you know what I mean? Like we talk, this is just normal talk for us. Like, who was it growing up that motivated you to want to be a better like who pushed you to be a better basketball player? You know what I'm saying? Because when we were younger, it ain't like today where kids are just playing with their peers all the time. Like most of the time, if you grew up like I did, we ended up playing with dudes that was either in high school when we was in middle school, or they were grown men. They would come and put the bottle down on the court and come and hoop. They didn't give us no leeway or nothing. So who was it that pushed you to say, yo, I got to work on my craft?
Man, really, to be honest, I enjoyed back in the day watching Timmy and Dwight at East Carter. I was way younger than them, but I watched them play. People don't know I lived and grew up in Beaufort for a long time,
Okay.
and I used to go back to the gym. So you got the Jimmy Walkers and the Scotty Walker, the Jacks, Ed Thump. All them boys used to play ball, and the thing that I appreciate back then, I'm looking at now. All these young guys now that think they're entitled. Dude,
Mm-hmm.
we got on the court. You better not shoot. You better
Yep.
not do nothing. You just
Yep.
hoping to get picked up. So I got picked up one day. Come on, young fella. Somebody got hurt. You know how it is. Somebody got to get hurt. Because the old
Correct.
heads in the gym. And when they leave, the gym shut down.
Right. It's empty.
So somebody got hurt. I came in. I'm passing the ball, just passing the ball around. And then somebody came off the rim. Boom. Oh, the rest of history. Then they were like, no, fella, come on, come on. So then, but I never wanted to feel like I was that guy who couldn't shoot or couldn't be on the court like that again. So I was like, you know what? Because this wasn't like instantaneous. This was probably weeks of just going to the gym. And then at that time, you out of school, the sundown, you better be back home. So
Yep.
I'm spending all my time on the sideline or looking at everybody else play or just run up and down. I call it suicides. We
Mm-hmm.
just run. I'm just running down, playing defense, coming back. But that taught me my defense too, because I would play. I played against older people. I never played against nobody my age. And then the guys my age, it was in the same predicament. But then once I got on the court, I was like, man, I ain't never going back over there with them.
Yep.
That
Yep,
made me work harder.
no doubt. I remember for me, it was the same type of situation. I can remember always saying to myself, if I shoot this ball, it better go in. Because if I miss, like, I'll never see the court again.
Right.
It ain't happening. They'll go pick some other young dude on the sideline. You know what I mean? And I remember the first time they yelled out, shoot it. And I shot it. And in my mind, I know I kneeled down and said a long prayer, pulled out some prayer beads, and prayed that that thing went in. And it did. And from there, they was like, all right, young boy made good decisions. He could pass. He played good D. Same thing. You know what I mean? And it is true. It's different now. Like now kids get out there, they expect to be out on the court. They expect to get everything right now, not have to earn anything. I wouldn't trade those times in for nothing though, because they taught you how to take fouls because they would foul you and you better not
Yeah.
call a foul. I mean, and it would be blatant
On
fouls.
purpose. Yeah, just to see how if you could take it, what you gonna do?
Yeah. So they made you tough. Like you had to be able to take it. And then once you did start playing with them, to me, they helped me hone my craft because they were more experienced. So you would get ripped. You try to make a little move, they pick your pocket and go the other way. It was learning little things. And then I always had like one or two that would hang around afterwards and be like, yo, you play good, but man, when you do this,
Yeah.
man, you came right back to me. So I just waited for it. You know what I mean? It was always little teaching moments that helped me. So by the time I started playing with my peers at
Easy.
14, 15, it was a wrap for them because I'm getting tricks from the old dudes and these young boys don't know nothing about it. They're not as physical. Man, it was a wrap. But the crew that you just named, I remember when I first visited down here, I went to a East Carteret game, and that was my first time seeing Timmy and Dwight play. And I'll never
Mm-mm-mm.
forget. I'll never forget. I'll let you tell some stories too. Um, it was an alley oop to Tim. He jumped so stinking high, like he had to duck under the backboard. Now I don't know if it was a legal play, but I'll never forget it, Hump. The ball was back here. He caught it. He literally grabbed underneath where the pad is on the backboard and pulled himself back out and just laid it up so pretty. I was like, is that legal? But I was like, it was so pretty. I think the referee was like, forget it. It counts. Now, he had a beautiful game, could jump, and Dwight had the prettiest jumper I think I've ever seen. So if you came up around those guys, and I know Jack, I know Scotty, I know all of them guys too that play hard and hustle. That's how you hone your skills right there. Because that's a crew.
Oh yeah, man. And just watching them and want to be like them. And then my grandmother lived. We used to go to the gym, but when the gym went open, it was called the center. And everybody started out the center. That was right behind my grandma's house,
Okay.
right there on Marsh Street. So it was like everybody would meet over there. So I'm looking out the window. I can see everybody here. Dude, we used to go outside, play on the outside courts, man, and just play.
Shit. Good, man, good times. Like now you tell the kid to go outside and play, they don't know what to do with themselves. You know what I mean? It's absolutely crazy. So now you go off to Middle Tennessee. Well, first you ended up going to Oak Hill. That was like a big milestone, right? Go to Oak Hill, like the powerhouse of the country. How did that come about? What was that like?
That changed me mentally, man, be honest with you. I was player of the year my junior year here at West Carter. Scouts, everybody was coming down. And I was the big fish in a small pond per se.
Hmm.
To be honest with you, and a lot of people don't know, I was going to East Carter my senior year.
Mm,
So it's gonna be Domain, think Jim would have been a younger, Jim would have been on that team.
Jim Jones?
Mark, we would have been stacked. So that was the piece we needed to win state. So we was going. And I felt some type of way because all 4 years or 3 years, everybody leave West, go East, and no problem. I said I was gonna do it. Newspaper articles and everything. So and that was because my coach at the time, Proatan opened up in '99.
Okay,
So in '98, he was going to Proatan and there was no senior class. So he asked me what
got
I
you.
wanted to do. I said, I'm gonna go to East. He said, all
Yeah.
right. Then talked to Coach Mumford and everything. Yeah, 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 yeah. But then that didn't go through. So Oak Hill. my coach knew somebody at Oak Hill, and they was like, yeah, Antoine went a year before I did, but Antoine's 6'8", so there's a little
Yeah.
difference between 6'8" and 6'1". So they was like, nah, that's really for the best of the best. They said,
Yeah.
I tell you what, the AAU team you could play on, they'll come watch. So I played on the AAU team. Me, Chris Wilcox,
Oh yeah.
Troy Willis, a lot of guys on the AAU team. But then at a tryout, and I went down there. Craig Dawson was at a tryout. We was at East Duplin.
Okay.
And they came and watched me, man. Craig was shooting, me and him were going back and forth. Me and him were going. Craig is Stack's nephew.
Okay.
So, he was there. He know the coaching stuff just because he was there. He wasn't leaving or nothing. He's a year ahead of me too. So he was already at weight. They were just all there. So we started playing, a lot of people try out. And I just started hitting jumpers and jumpers. And then a couple of them came out the rim. They didn't box out.
Yep.
I said, and I caught one. One came out the rim. And the best one was the one you don't know. It came out the rim. I ended up dunking it backwards.
Mm.
I saw the guy run over there and talk to my coach. I said, "Oh, we good." So after that, they're like, "Yeah, you come." So that's how I went to Oak Hill, man. But Oak Hill taught me a lot because, again, I was a big fish in a small pond. I get to Oak Hill, I'm playing with Steve Blake,
Mm-hmm.
Travis Watson, Ron Slay, and they'll tell you, I was still the most athletic on that team, but the
Mm-hmm.
margin was a whole lot smaller than it was.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
now, and I couldn't really go left that well. I was like Spreewell, but you couldn't stop me. I can go.
Correct.
But my athletic ability and theirs was so much similar. I still had a notch, but it was enough that I had to do more.
Mm-hmm.
So I spent time, man, with these guys. That's the first time the Cliff from Virginia had the hands up, the double in and out crosser, get me every time because I'm a shot blocker. Get me
Yeah.
every time. I'm like, God dang, I got to do
Yeah.
something different. So I stood, well, let me rewind. It wasn't easy for me. That was the first time in my life basketball wasn't easy. And I
Yeah.
competed and I played, and everybody knew I'm going hard. And if I won, my team won by one bucket. If
Yeah.
we lost by one. But I'm used to blowing jokers out, and
Correct.
I mean it's hard. So I called my dad. I was like, Coach is staying on me. He riding me. He riding me. He riding me. I'm like, what the? I ain't
Yeah.
doing nothing. Right. So I called my dad, and this is why I say, man, is God rest his soul. He passed not too long ago, but have a strong, it don't have to be a father figure, but have a strong male or female presence in your life. Think about it. This is 99. So for all y'all here listening who's younger, there's no cell phones.
Right.
Yeah, I'm in the era of no cell phones and stuff.
Right. No
I'm
internet.
on the land. Yeah. I'm on a landline with my dad. And I'm 6 hours away at 16, 17. I'm 6 hours away from home. I live on campus. Call my dad, say, come. I said, man, I don't know about it here. He's like, well, your grades just came in. You made straight A's. I said, yeah. I said, but basketball, I don't know. I think I want to come home. He says, the coach put his hands on you? I was like, no. He says, is he mistreating you other than yelling at basketball stuff? I said, no, sir. He said, well, this is exact word. I guess you need to figure it out because you
Yeah.
ain't coming back here. Hung up the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So from that point on, man, I went in the gym, man, after practice, before school, after practice, I went to the gym, just work to my left, work to my left, work. And those who know me later on, though, you would think I was left-handed. I prefer to go left now more than I do right. It's easier for me to
Yeah.
go left, but I work and work and work. That's the hardest I've ever worked on basketball. And just play against them guys and compete every day, man. I think that was the turning point in my career, in my game. That's how I really knew how to work out. I knew how to focus my game and just not get out there and play. Because the problem I see young generations and people even my age, they get out. I never worked on dunking. People go out there and work on stuff that they already do well. That
Yeah.
makes zero sense to me.
Correct.
So I've always just practiced on my weaknesses to turn my weaknesses into strengths, man. And that started at the Hill.
Yeah. And I remember because that was around the time you and I had just kind of met, to be honest with you. Like I didn't know you, but I had seen you. And I remember going to the
That was a
gym.
burgundy car.
Yeah. Yeah. Burgundy car all day. And I remember seeing you coming because we had similar mindsets from this standpoint. I love working on my craft. If I traveled somewhere or I played in a tournament or something and somebody forced me to go a direction that I wasn't used to, I would come home and I'd be like, yo, this joker made me go left all night long. And I felt uncomfortable. I turned the ball over 2 or 3 times. So when I would come home, it was left all day. And I remember going into the gym. No, I was coming out of the gym. You were coming in. And I remember, we just kind of said, what's up? We didn't really know each other. We had seen each other. And I just remember I had to go back in the gym and I'll never forget it. You had your right hand behind your back and all you was doing was dribbling. I guess that was your warm up. You just was dribbling back and forth, like running back and forth, left hand, just dribbling, dribbling. And that was around the time that you was at Oak Hill. So what you're saying, I've seen firsthand the work that went in. And so fast forward past Oak Hill, when we finally did get a chance to connect for me, when you got to Middle Tennessee, that's kind of when I started seeing the jump because I kind of got to know you a little bit. We started playing at the same places, and I never forget. I'm just gonna ask you because I know you're gonna answer it. What is the biggest myth that people say about the helicopter? What do
No, I
you hear?
can't
I know
shoot.
what I would hear.
I can't shoot.
Yeah, used to drive me crazy, huh? Used to listen. I
But
used
here's
to
the
get
thing: before I went to middle, people don't understand. I was a two-time All-American at Lewisburg, and I led a nation. Not the I led the nation in scoring back-to-back years. I was 27 in JUCO. So it's
say
like, eh, and it wasn't was 27, 13. It wasn't 13 and a half dunks.
right. That's why it used to drive me so crazy. And people used to be on me all the time. Now you gave some breaking news. I'll give some breaking news. People used to call me John's cheerleader because I was like, anytime somebody would say something or whatever, I'd be like, nah, he ain't nicer than my boy John. Like this, like, and they would be like, yo, you be bigging up John so much. I'm like, that's because I see the work. I see the progression. I see what it is. And I used to say that when they would say, your boy can't shoot, your boy. I'm like, you're watching the and one clips. You're watching basketball clips. Of course, they're going to take the dunks. If you watch Sports Center, they're going to show dunks over shots all day long. I'm like, but in the course of a game, if he's averaging over 26, 27 points a game, they ain't just letting him come in the lane and just dunk. He getting them buckets some other kind of way. So, I'm like, my guy can shoot. Like he can shoot. You know what I mean? Now I'm gonna put myself on the chopping block on my own daggone show. But we're gonna be honest. When I really knew that your game had went to another level, and you'll start laughing. There was a summer we were playing 2-on-2 just about all summer long.
Oh, Walt, God rest his soul.
Up,
Everybody, we used to yes,
man. Listen, I think every day we played 2-on-2. We'd either go to 16th Street Gym or be at the Sports Center.
yeah.
And there was one game that and very rarely did I feel like I couldn't guard somebody. Like that was my thing is like I can score, I can play, but I love playing defense too, especially against really good scores. Because I felt like if I can make them work or give them fits, they'll tap out, and eventually most people would tap out. So I'm gonna tell a true story. Listen. For everybody to know, I put myself on the chopping block. So we played 2-on-2. Me and Hump never were on the same team. It was like an unwritten rule. I don't know how many times we ever played together on 2-on-2. Maybe once. I don't even think once, to be honest with you. I can't think of a time that me and you played Walt or Tracy or Scott. Like I can't even think of it. There was one game. I mean, them games was getting heated. So here's story time. Listen, man, fans. This dude who I thought loved me like a brother. We were playing 16s by ones. It didn't matter whether you shot from the 3-point line or not. It was 1 point. That's how we played. This dude lit me up. He hit all 16 shots. All 16. And none of them were closer than 25 feet. No layups, no nada. 16 points. And it was and it wasn't like I wasn't playing defense. It was to the point to where even my man Tracy was like, after the game, he just came and put his hand on my shoulder and was like, yo, you was playing great defense. But he just was making greater shots. So I always tell people that story. So when they say somebody can't shoot, I don't care if you're shooting by yourself. To hit 16 in a row from 25 plus playing, I mean, and we played. Like it was, like I said, it wasn't like, I mean, I listen, I'll never put myself above anybody as a basketball player, let alone you. But man, I could play. So when I say 16 points, man, I was working hard and you still was lighting me up. So that's the story time for anybody that didn't think he could shoot. If you know me and you've seen me play, imagine he hit 16 straight to the point to where my boy Walt, who I thought loved me, kept giving him the ball. He would never ask for the ball back. Do you
Man,
remember
I
that
think
game?
I remember that game. Walk stay at the court. I remember that. But to be honest, man, it wasn't even that middle. My game changed dramatically to the because I went to Lewisburg. A lot of people don't know I was going to Georgetown out of Oak Hill. My girlfriend at the time got pregnant, and I mean, I got her pregnant. She didn't get pregnant by herself,
Yeah,
but anyway, yeah.
yeah,
And
yeah.
I just didn't feel comfortable going to DC. I don't know. I didn't know. So I went to Lewisburg sight unseen. I told my coach, I'm on the phone again. I'm still 6 hours away. I'm on the phone with him. I say, yo, this is what we need to do. Find me the closest thing to home, school that'll take me. He said, okay. He come back. He said, we're going to Lewisburg. All right. Never been there. Never been on campus. They never won. They never did nothing. Man, we went there. We won the Region 10 my first year. Went all the way to the to what they call the Final Four, the big dance. Went there. But I was averaging, I think I came in as a freshman. I averaged like 24 as a freshman, but it was dunks, layups, and threes. Boom. That was all again. So my sophomore year, I come back, and my coach was like, "Hey, John, you doing it? You was all American, but we got to get you on the mid range. Mid range." I said, "Nah. They can't stop me. I'm pulling deep because I'm pulling
Mhm.
timeline. Like they think Steph was doing. I'm pulling
Right,
timeline. You ain't put me up, but I'm pulling deep. But I
right.
worked on the shot hundreds of times. So I'll never forget. We're playing Hargrave Military School. James White, Keith Jennifers, they all on that team. So no, they're fifth year senior. So we battling. Man, we up 15 on them. Boom. The coach take us out. Section come in. These Joker, James White take it off. Boom. Keith making Jokers fall. They come back. But they come back and he put us back in. But dude, they don't have that momentum. We lose the game. This is the first one of the first times and crazy. So we lose the game. I'm hot. Now there was a game like it's almost like high school conference. There was a game in between, but we have the conference tournament coming up in 2 weeks. I walk off the court mad at coach, mad at everything. So we got a little bulletin board. I punches it. Boom, mad. Well, behind the bulletin board is that foam stuff, but it's a brick wall.
Yeah.
Break my hand. Break a bone in my
Oh
hand.
man.
My hand is swollen. Like I still got bones, like you can feel it now, because it ain't like back in the
Yeah,
day. It
yeah,
ain't like now
yeah,
you go. So stuff grow.
yeah.
So my hand, I got a broke hand where bones is broke. We got a tournament in 2 weeks. And I tell you, the Lord work in mysterious ways. I've always said that. So I'm mad. So my coach said, hot, cold, classroom. That's all I did for 2 weeks. I saw I go hot, cold for hours and hours, hours. So now we get to the tournament. I'm averaging 24 points. I'm averaging. You can look it up. 5.5 threes a game. I'm pop, let them go.
I believe it.
My wrist is still sore. I can't shoot the ball past the free throw line without it excruciating pain. I averaged 30 in the tournament, all mid range, and that was the first time it clicked that hey, you don't need to shoot back there all the time.
Right.
So that's what happens with the mid range. That's how my mid range got because I had to go through a whole tournament. I couldn't shoot. Nobody knew when my coaches and everybody else. I couldn't shoot back there. I would shoot an air ball because it hurt so bad just to shoot it.
Yeah.
No, that deep. So when I realized that, then I added that to my game on mistake, but it was, and I got prolific at the mid range, and it was over.
Yeah. Nah, I remember those. I remember those times when you would come back and I would see you. It seemed like every summer, just seeing the growth. And I loved it because for me, I just love competition. So I loved it when we would all get together and I could kind of see how this person grew from the last time I played against them. And then mind you, I'm trying to work on my craft too. Cause I don't want you coming back and we link up and he'd be like, yo, that's the same old Kev. I could play him the same old way. You know what I mean? I'm trying to work on my junk too. You know what I mean? And to me, that's why we said this before. Like, I would give up a paycheck to just go back to like 2 weeks of hooping like we used to hoop. I would
Hey,
give up
hey,
I give up two paychecks. Give me
we gotta get
give
that
me a
old
month.
body back though. I can't do it with this body.
No, right. That's what I mean. Yeah, go back to everything.
Yeah.
Go back to everything. Man, we had some those were phenomenal times. And I feel bad for a lot of the young kids today because they don't experience that now. It's almost like they're overly protected. They don't want to play like we
Like they
played.
don't know the feeling of really being so exhausted, like, and you've done it, I've done it many a times. That after the game, we sitting around for another hour because that ain't really we just chit chat, but it ain't for the chit chat. It's because you're too exhausted to even drive home.
Correct. Correct.
Just
Correct.
tired, can't move. So it's like so, and man, and we did this 3, 4 times a week, and it
Yeah.
was great, man. It
Yeah.
was some good basketball, and I think that for me, I loved coming home because when I'm on the road, it's a quote unquote celebrity. This when I got home, man, Punk, check it up. Nobody care.
Right.
That's what I love. That's what I love.
Right.
So it was never got treated differently. It was we go let's play. So it was great coming home, man, to the competition, and I always knew, hey, it's gonna be a battle. So I always get to work on my craft. Ain't nobody giving you nothing.
Nah. Nah. That was the cool part. And then, you know, the sports center was 110 degrees back there. So that was a whole nother factor that people didn't understand. Like when they would see us back there going, like think of all the people that would visitors would come and we would look at them and be like, oh, they ain't gonna last one game because they
And
ain't
you
used
know,
to this
like,
heat. Yeah, because it's
that
so
was a
hot.
home court advantage for real.
It definitely was. If it was 98 outside, it was 103 inside. Like it just what it was. And now I marvel at how, like you said, how much we would play. Think about it. Some nights we would get there at 4:30 and we wouldn't leave the gym until 9.
Right. And
Crazy.
one lot of talking going on. It was a straight
No,
hooper.
crazy. Great. Man, you remember even Sundays, if you didn't get to the sports center by 1 o'clock, you was already down about 4 or 5 games.
Remember they start making you put a list up because we wouldn't let nobody get
Yeah,
on the court.
because nobody could get on the court. And if you lost, you might as well just pack your stuff up and went home because you was
Well,
already
go
down
on.
6 games. That's how
Yeah.
many people was at the gym. Those are things that I wish like some of the young kids could experience because you had to work on your craft. If you didn't, you was going home frustrated all the time. And I mean, you just wanted the boys that could hoop to respect you as a hooper. Like for me, that was huge because I started playing ball so late in life. I just wanted y'all to say when my name was brought up, I just wanted them to be like, yo, he could go. He could really go. Not that when he
Right.
get hot, he dangerous. You know what I mean? Or I wanted him to be like, yo, Kev can go. He can go. And just the respect of seeing, yo, he works on his craft. And that's what I always loved about you. I could always see the work on your craft. And by the time you finish JUCO, then you go to Middle Tennessee, and then by the time you signed to go overseas, that was like another just jump of just craziness that I saw in your game. So how did we'll back up a little bit because I want people to understand and they can look this up as well. There was something that happened while you were at Middle Tennessee that we could say put you on. It's not there was no social media back then. So if there was social media, I think we all would have been famous
Hell
for
yeah.
some of the stuff we was doing on the court. But you especially. There was a dunk contest, the NCAA dunk contest that still goes on now during the NCAA tournament. Tell me how that dunk contest impacted, like we'll say, like the global aspect of the helicopter.
It was crazy because I lost the dunk contest and I got more fame. And me and we talk to this day. it was funny because Baron Davis was he's to the day I roll my eyes at him. He's like, "Come on, man,
Mm-hmm.
the rules changed." We was in Byron went to Tulane.
Right.
We was in New Orleans. I had 350s. So the way it was supposed to add up was already over with. So I was like, all right. He do a dunk that they said, okay, let's have a one dunk off. But me, whatever. I don't know, but I'm like, it's over. And so he did a dunk that I already did. He got a 50. So I knew I had to do something crazy. So I just tried it at old Vince. I missed. Everyone, oh, you got cheated, whatever. But I think that was the first time because we had TV games at middle, but it wasn't the NCAA dunk contest is
Mm-hmm.
nationally, and everybody, and it plays over and over and over.
Yep.
And then when you got the James Worthy said that he played with Mike, and Mike can't do what I did, jumping wise. And I think that's just starting to hit the fan, and then everybody like, who's this kid? Who this kid? And then I leave school, and then the N1 come,
Yep.
and I go outside, and then they're like, yo, that's the dude on the dunk contest. So now everybody wants to let me see him dunk. So I did a couple dunks. When I get in the building, dude, it's just to me again. That's was the funny thing. We already talked about everything previously. I don't care who these guys are. We
Right.
hoop.
Right.
So I don't care they was on TV. And again, I would tell you, I'd be the first one to say when I first saw him on TV, I said I wasn't go. I was at my little brother's house, my little big brother, Rick Green.
Got
I
you.
was at his house. He was like, man, you gotta go. You gotta go. I called Tracy about it. He said, yo, I know Shane Dribble Machine. You should go out there. I'm like, man, I play ball, man. I ain't going out there. And Rick was
Yeah.
like, come on, man, you gotta go. So, all right, so I went out there and did a couple dunks, and I get inside. I seen the AOs and the spiders. I'm like, man, but I've seen the TV show. I'm like, man, this mess fake. Nah,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
they now they did they travel? Yeah, did it, but
Oh, yeah.
it wasn't like the Globetrotters. No pun to the Globetrotters, but
Yeah.
you playing ball.
Right.
So them just coming at me like, and you the new kid. So I'm
Correct.
like, that's what I'm used to. So
Yeah.
for me, I think my first ever game I had 30. And I'm just dunking on everybody. And to me, it was fun. Like
Right.
it was no more than a pickup game for me. Everybody else was nervous, and I'm like,
Yeah.
man, you don't know Kevin, you don't know Tracy, you don't know Jack, you don't. We got referees. They gonna call fouls? Oh
Right.
shoot,
Yeah. Yeah.
this is easy.
Yeah. And the crazy thing, that's another myth that you just busted is, getting a chance to meet some of them dudes or whatever, being on the same court. Like I always tell people, when you see certain players do certain things, a lot of people look at it and then they try to emulate it. They don't understand these guys have skills. A lot of them played at college basketball. They work on the fundamentals. That's why they could do those tricks.
Right.
Now, there's some
Like I,
people that just
like I said it.
not,
I said you can't make nobody fall playing basketball. You can't throw it between the legs. Well, Alamo made me fall. Alamo threw it between my legs. And I prided myself on defense. AO running crossover. He's the only guy I ever played against in my life that you knew exactly what he was going to do and couldn't stop it.
yeah,
He
yeah,
has a running crossover. He runs at you full speed and he's crossing. Now, only thing is he might give you in and out cross, he might give you a double cross or a hezzy cross. But that's what he's doing. But then a lot of people don't know. AO, when the D League was the D League back then, he led the
yeah,
D League in assists.
yeah.
Like he was at Fresno State. Like he like these guys on the N1 tour at the time could play. Alamo, God rest his soul. He was a 6'8" point guard.
He was the one that
Handles and he was amazing.
I never understood how he never got a shot in the league. I used to say the Black Widow is one of the illest hoopers that I have ever seen for that
Play.
size. And the thing is it was almost like it was a blessing and a curse because had Am1 come out 10 years ago, all of y'all would have been in the NBA.
Yes.
Every single one of y'all would have been in the NBA. NBA would have been scouting Am1 games. The league just wasn't there yet. The league was still back to the basket, slow, a little slower pace. But now everything you see happening in the league, like you can credit to Am1 and that style of play because now you're seeing guards do these types of things. You're seeing Kyrie Irving, you're seeing Steph. These guys are with the ball hand, the little tricks and the little
Where do you think they
stuff
got it
that
from?
might not be completely legal in the NBA, but they still let it fly. They got that stuff from, and even the big guys, like you said, Ayo, look at Alamo, like these dudes were ultra skilled big men. They weren't, they weren't, they weren't my size. You know what I mean? Like they weren't
Right.
guards. Like they were forwards handling the ball like point guards. And it just used to blow my mind. I'd be like, how does the NBA not look at this and say,
Well, they thought it was a competition and looked down on us. And am I saying that everybody who played and one could go to the league? I'm not
no,
disrespecting the league like that. No.
no, 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 no.
But there was a select few that
Correct.
could 100% play in the league. You seen what Skip did?
Correct.
And
Correct. That's
Alamo
what I'm saying.
busted Skip up at times now.
Thank you. Thank you.
Now, Skip the
That's what
play. Don't get it wrong.
no, no,
Skip
no,
the
no,
play.
no. Yeah, yeah, yeah. He's amazing. Amazing.
Uh, you seen when we have the NBA guys, watch the tape. The NBA guys come. Mike James came. He was killing for Houston. AO, man, I thought he would get a 10-day off that game. He was killing
Yeah.
Mike. I'm like, yeah, like I became a fan in the middle of the game. And this,
Yeah.
I'm not talking about, oh, this is rookie John. I've been on tour 4 or 5 years now, so I'm
Yeah.
established. I turned to a fan. I'm like, AO had a thing. No lie, man. And this is the only guy telling me. He's like, all right, y'all, layup drill. That means give him the ball. He's going to shoot at least 5 consecutive layups. He don't care who guarding him. And that's what he did. When he go
Mm,
layup drill, AO was
that's it.
amazing.
Yeah. No, I love this game, man. To me, he was kind of like a silent killer. He didn't do a whole lot. I mean, I know he trash talked, but he wasn't one of the more, flamboyant when it came to trash talking. I know he talked, but I just
Yeah,
like
when
the
it's
way
time to
he
hoop,
played. Yeah.
when it's time to hoop, they call him the general. When it's time to hoop, that's who you want on your side, man. Go
Yeah.
anywhere with him.
Yeah, yeah. No, listen, those were the times, man. So and one was huge for you. Um, I remember when you got signed and so many beautiful things was happening for you there in the summertime and one fall heading to Japan to play. And how I knew my brother, ladies and gentlemen, was doing big things was I remember coming back in town and then we were down at the 16th Street gym and everybody was like, yo, Kev, we gonna run today. Hump's on his way. I was like, all right, cool. I'm looking for the black Honda that we already talked about. And then this white GMC Denali pull up with helicopter written across the front of it, these big 26-inch rims on them when ain't nobody have 26-inch rims. And he pulled up. That's when I knew I was like, all right, my brother has made it. You know what I'm saying? And I that was like a big bro proud moment for me. You know what I mean? I've never been one of them dudes that hey, I want everybody to succeed. And I just loved it, man. And so that time period was golden. How did that change your life? Like how did and one and I know playing professionally overseas was a great thing, but and one people don't understand just how huge and one had become. If you don't know and one, folks, just go to ESPN and look at the 30 for 30 on and one, and you'll see how big it is. Like John just said, NBA players were coming to the and one games. They were rocking and ones. There was players in the league whose shoe of choice was and ones. That's how popular it was. So how did that like impact not John Humphrey because there's two different people now. The helicopter now it starts to take off. So how did and one kind of impact you globally?
But first off, if that was social media, then we'd all been millionaires. It would
No
all been
question.
millionaires.
No
People
question.
understand that, and I go back and I think about it, and I talk to Spider all the time, we all think about it. We were selling out the garden when the Knicks wasn't selling out the garden. We played in
Mm,
NBA arenas and selling everything out. So you talking about in the summertime, I'm playing in front of 30,000, 25,000 people. Like
yep.
we get to a gym that's only 10,000, I'm like, man, we ain't do good tonight. But you would quote unquote kill to play in front of 10,000 people. You
You
playing pickup
daggone
ball.
right. Yeah.
You're like, yo, what's going on? Ain't nobody here yet? Like, we was really rock stars
Mm-hmm.
before we was rock stars. I mean, you're touring on a bus. We got our own security. There's 8 buses. People don't see that on the thing. We got our own security. You can't walk in malls. People running you down, grabbing you. We had autograph sessions. We had to stay after the game. It's 10,000 people at stake. We had to cut autograph sessions short because some people got signed over here. Oh, like commercials. um, talk shows. It was crazy, man.
Hmm. Yeah.
When I found myself in the set at the ESPN zone with Venus and Serena, I was like, "Good girl, I made it, boy." And
No, it's
and then
true.
like to me, I got paid to hoop, man. I got paid to do a children's game, so I enjoyed it. I worked hard and we practice. Now, don't people get wrong, we practice,
Yeah.
but I got paid to hoop. So my life it changed, and it didn't. It changed because I had some money. But it didn't
Yep.
change because whoever knew me, they knew I stayed the same regardless. Like I didn't let none of that affect me. I never got the big head or whatever. Because to me, besides I was getting a check every month and getting some gear, I got gear in college. I got gear at Oak Hill. So
Right.
I was fortunate enough to now I ain't get the abundance that I got at and one.
Yeah, 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 yeah. The
But
and
if
one
you
gear was a
think
little
about it,
different.
besides the shoes, you would thought the whole community was signing and one because I gave out boxes and boxes
Oh,
and stuff to everybody. 'Cause that's just how I roll. I say, hey,
yep,
you and me, we gonna look good.
yep,
Then Tracy's the only one and Walt, only one wore my shoe size, so they used to come in and get shoes.
yep,
I think the
yeah,
craziest thing about the N1 deal, other than the money, was they gave us $4,000 worth of gear every month.
yeah. I
We
remember.
saw that truck come, it's boxes and boxes. And
Yeah, yeah.
it is phenomenal.
Listen,
I like
I
gear.
remember coming and chopping it up with you outside, and I remember them boxes coming. And it was just like it was the most ridiculous thing I ever saw in my life. Just like I mean, they wasn't listen, folks. They was not normal boxes. You see this poster behind me, like you see this billboard. They was boxes about that size, literally with shorts. One box is nothing but shorts. Another box of shirts, and this was not stuff that you was getting at Foot Locker or
Um,
nothing like this. This was exclusive stuff for the players. And one of the things that I love about you, John, man, is like you said, you didn't change. You didn't change. Like I could roll past, see you out washing the car, you hit that horn, bump, bump, bump. Like you see me before I see you. You know what I mean? And I do a U-turn, come back in the yard, we chop it up, we talk a little bit, see what's going on, see what's been happening. You know, I do remember you coming into the gym and you would just give shirts and shorts and stuff away to kids. You know, if kids didn't have nothing, you give it to them. Most of the dudes in there. Matter of fact, I think one of the I don't want to say argument, but one of the times you and I like disagreed the most, he was trying to get me to wear Air One. I was like, man, I'm Nike all day. And I was
yeah,
wearing
yeah,
black
yeah.
on black on black, everything. I was
Yeah,
like, I
yeah.
appreciate it, bro, but I'm good. You know what I mean? But you literally would hook everybody up with and one stuff. And I thought that that was like the dopest thing in the world because some people, you know, they make it and they do forget about everybody else. And that used to blow people's mind too. I could remember having family members down in the summer and we would, you know, be hooping before you would go on tour or when you would come back. Cause I think you would have about when you got back from Japan, you would have maybe somewhere like 3 to 4 weeks before the tour would start. And then at the end of the tour, you might have like 3 to 4 weeks before you went back or something like. So you take like a week off, rest, and then you would come out and hoop. And I never forget I had some fam down and you know, we in the gym or whatever, and they're like, wait, is that the I'm like, yeah, that's the helicopter. That's my boy. And they're like, he played with y'all? And I'm like, we've been doing this for years. Ain't nothing changed. It just blew their mind to see somebody that they see on ESPN, somebody that's on shirts, somebody that got they got the shoes with the 35 on the side. You know what I mean? Like, and they seeing them face to face. And then if I introduce you to them, you know, you're treating them just like a regular like it was just mind blowing, man. So for that, like that's one of the things that I always loved about you too, man. You never changed. You didn't allow it to change you. I mean, it changed some things in a good way. Like you said, you getting paid, you able to take care of things. Had a crib at a young age. You know what I'm saying? 2 cars. I look, hats off to you. You know that's the way it's supposed to be. You know, so you got AND1 globally put you on the map. You're traveling the world with AND1. You're traveling half the world in Japan most of the time. You know, and then things start to wrap up. As they say, Father Time is undefeated, unfortunately. You know, and the thing I love about you, man, is again, some guys can be selfish in the sense that when they make it, they think singularly, like, okay, my career is starting to come to an end. What am I? What am I? What am I? You always used to tell me, Kev, I want to take what I learned and give it back to the kids because I learned so much. So here's another fact that some people might not know, and I'll let you speak on it, and you could tell your stories. John played for a coach that some people might not even realize you played for. So who was it that you played for, and how was that experience, and how did that mold you to where you are right now?
I played for Joe Jellybean Bryant, Kobe, so Kobe's pops.
Hmm.
Man, that helped me because not only is he's the father of one of the arguably the greatest players ever. People don't know Jelly before his time.
Oh yeah,
Jelly was the Magic before Magic.
yeah.
Jelly, he got blackballed from the league for doing everything that Magic doing. Jelly 6'10". He can
Hmm.
handle, he can play. So he just taught me the game in a whole new different level, mindset wise, to play chess instead of checkers. You do moves early in the game to set them up for something later on. Like there is
Yep.
no, if you miss a shot, so what? You set them up for some later stuff, and then working out with Cole and getting close with the family, and it was just you can see the difference. And it was for me, man, some of the best time of my life because it was just straight hooping and straight life. And like right now, we talk, man. We probably talk 2-3 times a month, man. And he still, I call him my second dad. He'll send me a text, how am I doing, what's going on, and we'll just chop it up. Now he brief now. He gonna chop it up about 2 minutes. Then he done.
Yeah.
Ask about my wife and everything. And he's dude, we've been together so much and so long. Like he's just been a positive influence in my life. And man, I don't know without him, man, it'd have been tough because
Yeah.
he's again, you ain't go through nothing he ain't go through.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that was huge for me.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So I'm gonna put you on the spot just a little bit. If you can, you can. If not, you can't. It ain't no big deal. Give me a crazy Kobe moment. Do you have one? Do you have like a surreal moment with Kobe, or just the whole thing was surreal?
Kobe and I working out, and it was funny because I'll bust him up one night, and he's like, all right. The night he dropped 81, I had 47, I had 38 and a half. Yeah, he dropped 81. But anyway, so we're working out, doing little drills, little drills. So about 2 hours in, I'm like, all right, bro, I'm tired. So I'm gonna just do a little longer, and then we can go and get out of here. He worked out for an hour and a half more full speed. I said, that's the reason why he's where he's at and I'm where I'm at. Full speed, worked out. I'm like, I've never seen nothing like it. Now I played against Mike. I
Hmm.
never worked out with Mike. I played with him and against. I never worked out with. Joe go worked out like it was the NBA Finals. I'm like,
Hmm.
hey, cameras in here or something? I'm like, oh, I'm talking about drenching in sweat. Where I'm like, this kid's amazing. So that's why I don't get into debates and stuff like that because people are talking about what they think. I'm talking about what I know.
Correct.
I listen to stuff. I'm like, yo, you just don't understand. And his knowledge and IQ, and that's why I got my stuff just talking to him. He breaks stuff down. You listen to old video now, he breaks stuff down. You
Hmm.
go back when he got hurt his last year, and everybody like, oh, he sucked. If you just go back and be a student of the game, not a critic, and watch it, nobody stopped him. He got
Correct.
whatever shot he wanted. His body just wouldn't let him go. He missed a lot of shots, but
No
he got
legs.
whatever shot what he wanted. Like, that's
No
incredible.
legs. When you tear your Achilles, like there's no legs. Like there's no legs. So yeah, phenomenal, dude. See, you hear it here first on Listen Man, a Kobe story that nobody knew. I mean, it's fantastic stuff. And you're like me, like I don't really get into the debates either. You know, we did a show, we just kind of looked at stats. And the one thing I will say, I hate that Kobe kind of gets negated out because he patterned his game so much after Mike. So a lot of times when that conversation comes, people will say, even when you look at like the all-time teams, when they put the all-time teams together, they'll say, if I got Mike there, Kobe ain't gonna make it because they pretty much the same player, because Kobe patterned after Mike. I hear a lot of dudes say that. And I kind of hate that because I'm like, that's kind of negating his accomplishments. And like
Right.
you said, that kind of negates the work that he put in, um, because he literally worked his butt off. And that's part of the
If you're
reason why
gonna
his body
pattern your
started
game
breaking
after
down.
somebody, Mike ain't the bad one to do it.
No. And who didn't? Who didn't?
Everybody did. Everybody wore that red and black. Tiger one of the first one to wear that red and black.
Correct.
When that might like be like Mike commercial come out of Garrett, man, we everybody.
Everybody.
Yeah,
again,
yeah,
we go all the way back to the beginning of the conversation, like the 5 4 3 2 1. That came because of Mike was hitting stuff at the buzzer like that.
yeah.
So and I wasn't even when I was younger, I wasn't a Jordan fan. Like I was a Dominique
Oh,
fan. Neek was my guy. Neek was my dude. Like I love Neek. That was just my guy. I like Mike, but Neek was my dude. Like that's who I roll with. I patterned my game after early on it was Magic. I used to love to pass until I realized I could shoot a little bit. I played in a game, played in a tournament. Where's that? I was in Hampton, Virginia. And I used to love passing. Magic was my dude. I used to just love setting people up, little bounce passes, little things. And this game, man, they was just leaving me open because I guess they figured he just want to pass. He can't shoot. And I hit about 5 or 6 in a row. And then I started liking scoring. I was like, hey, this ain't bad.
I like this too.
Everybody running up on you like he can play, he can shoot. I'm like, damn, you get this much attention for putting the ball in the basket? All right, let me work on that. So for me, it was guys like Barkley and Olajuwon, which is kind of oxymoronic because I wasn't 6'8", 6'9", but
Your footwork is incredible, though. I tell you, those who don't know, his footwork down in the post, incredible.
yeah, I got 2 new hips to prove it too, because they that footwork was killing me. Banging against guys like you, and then trying to twist and guard tore me up. But again, those were the good old times. So what do you tell everybody on the show what it is that you're doing right now? Because like I mentioned before, one of the things that I appreciate about you is it's never always been about you. Like you're always looking to take what Jelly Bean and Kobe gave you and you want to pass it on. You're not just keeping it to yourself. So tell the people who don't know, I know, but tell them what is John got going on now?
So first, when I came home, man, I'm like, how can I give back to the youth? How can I? They might not be as fortunate as I was to catch breaks, if you want to say that, or have the male father figure in their life. I was on TV, and to this day, I've never drunk any alcohol, did any drugs, never sold no drugs. So I wanted to teach the kids that people want to be like Curry, but you didn't grow up like Curry. I grew up like you.
Yeah,
If I did it, you can do it. So I started a company called Commit to Achieve. And
like the sweatshirts.
it's to teach the people, the kids and the generation, not only in sports, anything in life, and you can contest to this, to really be successful, you got to commit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So I started that company. It's been like almost 10 years now.
Yeah,
And through
I was
that,
about to
man,
say.
I've done their programs. I've raised money, got shoes for basketball teams, um, a whole lot of other stuff. Now we have a AAU team. This is our third year. So we're getting the guys out of the area who has never, who maybe couldn't go nowhere. So we in Virginia, like we're in Hampton next weekend, we're in Hamsburg, and we're in Rock Hill, South Carolina. We all over taking them to these big time tournaments to give them the opportunity. If you don't succeed, don't make it. It won't be because you didn't get a shot.
Mm-hmm.
So I did some personal training, and I was also fortunate enough. Now I'm the high school coach at Croatown High School. They had one of their best years last year. We finished 20-8. 20 wins is great. If you think about 2 years ago, they won one game.
Yeah, I was just about to say.
We won a home playoff game. We lost in the second round. So just building, man. Just trying to teach the kids the right way and how to play basketball. Just
Yeah,
and I enjoy every minute. It's a lot of work. I tell people I work more now than I did when I was playing. But I enjoy it, man. I enjoy the youth. I enjoy when I got a group of people who wants to listen and I can give them the knowledge. And then I try not to go to the helicopter road and people find out who I am, was, or whatever you want to call it. Oh, you did this, you did this. And then, but I use that to gravitate to the kids more because I can relate to them.
mm-hmm.
When I can tell them that I've been through some stuff you ain't been through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you, I can tell them about college. I can tell them about being recruited, how it's going to be, what's going to happen. That parents probably can't tell them. 9 times out of 10, his average kids is going around now. Their parents weren't no D1 basketball players.
Mm-hmm.
They never went pro. They never were around pro. So I can relate. I've been coach. I've been big brother. I've been there, but even at work, this young students, Marine, call me coach.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
I enjoy it, man. I enjoy being able to get back. the Lord put me in a wonderful position, man, to use my skills and be able to give back. Thank God I got a job as a sports coordinator on base, so I still get paid to be around sports. So
Yeah,
I'm just blessed, man.
yeah. No, listen, and listen. It- I think the beauty for me is knowing you as long as I have. I've just seen you throughout this whole journey, and this is a show, but you and I have had like conversations like at each other's houses, like deep conversations about life. We both had ups, we both had downs, and been there for each other no matter what. And I'm just grateful, bro. You know what I mean? Like, and appreciate you so much. And I'm happy to have you on the show, first guest, for this very reason, because we have so much history. Now, I'm gonna tell another story. Here's another quick story. Listen. Just to kind of give people an idea, like the type of person that you are. I was going through a tough time financially. And you know how they say when it rains, it pours. And that was the case. And it just seemed like everything was kind of going wrong. Then my car broke down, and the Cadillac dealership said, "Hey, the part's going to take like anywhere from 4 to 6 weeks to even get here." And I'll never forget, I told Hump, he picked me up. We just finished hooping, and I'm telling him about it. Now, the way the road split is like a V. I lived on this side, he lived on this side. And we typically, when he would take me home, we would go to the left. And we're just talking. We're talking about other things, but he remembered what I said. This dude go to the right. I'm thinking, well, he gonna stop and get something to eat, whatever, whatever. And we end up pulling up into his house. He's getting ready to fly out the next day to go back to Japan. And I'm like, yo, what are you doing? I'm thinking he got to pick something up and he's gonna run me home. And he's like, here, you gonna take the truck. Now, I'll get to the truck in a second, but he's like, here, you gonna take the truck. And I'm like, no, I'm not taking the truck. And let me tell y'all people what my brother does. This dude walked straight in the house and shut the door. He's like, well, if you ain't taking the truck, I guess you walking home. So here I am sitting out in front of a brand new Cadillac Escalade. And when I tell you it had every bell and whistle, it had the rims on it, the whole nine. This ain't like his old Escalade, and he just let me use like it's a new Escalade. And my man is like, yo, take it. He's like, that's what I got insurance for. If anything happened to it, I'm good. He said, plus it need to be driven while I'm away in Japan, anyways. So long story short, here I am, driving around, in my brother's Escalade because he's that type of dude. I didn't ask him. I didn't have to ask. I just was telling him what was going on, venting to my brother. And that will always stand out in my mind as something that separates you from so many people in my life. So, man, I appreciate you so very much, man. Not only are you just a great dude on the court, but you're an even better dude in life. You know what I mean? You're a brother for real. Um, and this has just been phenomenal, man. And I just wanted to just have an opportunity to let other people kind of get to know you who know me and might not know you. And then also hear some of the stories, man, that you hear. And we had a couple of breaking stories that I didn't even know after 20 some years. So that was kind of cool too, and but more than anything, I always say that this is a positive podcast. And you're a positive force, man. You're a positive force in the community. You're a positive force, with everybody that's around you. You're a positive force at the high school. By the way, my daughter goes to the high school that he's coaching at. So I've been fortunate to see those games before he got there, which were really tough to watch, to now this past season to actually see the gym packed out because the team is winning and see a different energy there, to see kids talking about they want to go to Croatan next year because he's there and because the team is winning. Again, it's just a way for me to say thank you, and I'm proud of you, and I love you, man. It just is what it is. And even though it's a show, we'll talk more, but I just want people to know how I feel about you, and give you your flowers, as they say, right now. You know what I mean?
Man, I appreciate it, man. We go way back. It's funny you talk about that truck incident. I forgot all about that. But yeah, you were happy, but you were mad. You start getting all them tent tickets. And
Yeah, yeah. Hey, don't think a bill still ain't coming after all this time.
but man, I applaud you for what you're doing. one thing I love about you, man, that you always tried to stay in your comfort zone. So I enjoy watching you step out of your comfort zone and have fun with it. You're making it yours, and I appreciate that. Because to be honest, this is something everybody told me to start on, but it ain't something I would want to do.
Me too.
And I'm always on the other end. Like I enjoy this part,
Yeah.
but I wish you nothing but success. And when you blow up, you better have me back.
Oh man,
And
please. If I blow up, it's gonna be because of this episode. What you talking about?
but I enjoy it, man. And like I said, our friendship goes way back, and and it's more than a friendship. So
No
your
doubt.
family, my family, I call them family. You know, anything you need, I'm there. Vice versa, I know. So I appreciate it, man. I appreciate being the first guest
Always.
on the show.
Always, always wouldn't have it no other way, man. It's the way that it's got to be. You know what I mean? And for me, I'm just grateful. And like I said, man, the podcast is about life, and you were one to always push me out of my comfort zone, whether it was on the court, in life. I'm more laid back. I'm more of a observe, just kind of sit back and watch things. And when you have personalities like yours and Tracy's and Jack's, it was easy to sit back and just listen. And that's going to be another one. Tracy's gonna be on the show sometime soon. I gotta call him tonight. So the stories that's gonna come out of him is gonna be
Oh
crazy,
yeah,
just on a different level, So I'm just appreciative, man, that I've had an opportunity to meet you and play with you, play against you. I've learned so much. You've added to my game as a basketball player. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, in some kind of way, with all of the greatness you've been around, a little pieces here and there of me help you in some kind of way. I don't know if it did or didn't. I know your game definitely helped me progress and just appreciate you taking some time out, man, to chop it up with me and be on the show.
man, it's all love. I'll give you one more little quick story
Go
that
ahead, bro.
you have Tracy elaborate on it. So the year that I averaged 27 a game, Tracy was the coach then.
I remember.
And
Yeah.
I was putting up 40 points, 17 rebounds and everything. So and he worked us to death. Tracy called me the best worst shot maker in the
Yeah.
history. But I've always practiced shooting over. I practice the bad shots. He's like, yo, what are you? But what people don't understand, he'll tell you. So you get him talking about this, he gonna get mad. He'll talk forever. I was a percentage guy. I didn't just shoot just to shoot. I shot over 50%. Tracy used to tell me to shoot 30 times a game. I wouldn't shoot bad shot. I wouldn't shoot. So he used to
Yeah.
get mad at me. But man, like Trey, man, Trey, good guy, and I can't wait for that interview. But ask him about that, and ask him about when I dunked on him back when I did 360 and dunked on him. Then he said, "Okay, I'll pass the torch to you." And what
Hey,
I,
hey, listen. Look, I love Trey. Trey got he was the first person I got at the sports center.
oh, yo, yeah, I definitely hear y'all episode.
Yeah,
Look, it's button you
he
can
was
chime in on. I'm like, hey,
Hey,
what happened?
we might have to do a little three-way interview on that one or something. But yeah,
Yeah,
he was my first one at the sports center. He had his back to me, and I said, "Oh, he ain't turning around," and that was when I had some bounce. And I just remember going up. I wasn't even planning on trying to, and I just went up, and I was like, "Oh!" And then by the time he turned around, it was too
too late.
late. He didn't even know what happened. Because he didn't even think I could dunk because
Yeah,
I had just kind of started playing with him. So he didn't really, he didn't really know. But he was another one that pushed. Yeah, man, he pushed the life out of me, man. And he took my game to some different levels too. But yeah, we'll definitely do that, man. And like I said, man, I just appreciate you overall, bro. Appreciate your time. I know you're a busy man. Thank you for being on the Listen Man show. I love you. Want nothing but the
love you,
best for
bro.
you as always. And we'll put some information in the link for you guys so that you can see his Commit to Achieve page. If you want some of the merchandise or whatever, we'll put that information up there for you as well. For a great cause, you can support it. He's also got a golf tournament that he does every single year. That'll be coming up sometime soon. We'll put that information out as well. So if any of you want to put a team together, you like to golf, hey, he's your man. You can do his tournament. So we'll put some of that information up there for you as well, so that way you can get in contact if there's things that you want to do to contribute to, commit to, achieve the golf tournament or anything else. So this has been the Listen Man Show. As I always say, man, listen, be kind, smile, don't let life get you too down. There's always sunshine around the corner. What goes up, is going to come down. So even if there's bad times, there's good times right around the corner. So again, thank you for taking time out to spend it with me. Appreciate my guest, John Helicopter Humphreys. And as I always say, if you like the show, make sure you hit the thumbs up, make sure you subscribe, make sure that you follow. More importantly, make sure that you share. I want to make the fans' voice the loudest voice that's out there, and I can only do that with your help. So continue to watch. Thank you for those that listen on Podbean as well. And again, this has been the Listen Man Podcast. Have a great day. Let's go.